Hey everybody, it's Wolvash. Welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. Alright, it's time to go around Camp McCarran and find out where the interrogation is happening, and there was something else. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I got distracted by Angela Williams, so let's see what she has to say.
A little busy at the moment, but I can talk.
What is this place?
This? The OSI lab. We don't get many visitors. The smell puts people off, I think. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. Anyway, you get used to it if you give it some time.
If it's the science of air fresheners, it would smell clean and fresh. Are you a scientist? Are you a scientist?
I know I don't sound the part. Get raised by Brahmin ranchers and you never lose the twang. Drives Hildern crazy. But I know every inch of the power grid from Hoover Dam to Shady Sands. That's what we do here. Try to optimize the power output from the dam. Some of the others are working on an agricultural project, but truth be told, they aren't making much progress. Not yet, anyway.
What's your role here?
Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things when they need me. Gotta be flexible.
You need help with anything?
You mean give you work? No, that'd be up to the administrator, Hildern. He's back there in his office. Between you and me, I don't think he ever leaves. Plenty of mercs go in to see him, though.
What for?
I can't say. We're not supposed to talk about the research, not the details. If you're interested, I'm sure he'd see you.
Sounds good.
Nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'm almost always in the lab.
Alright, nice to meet you. And don't let people tell you your twang makes you not smart.
Morning.
You can be a scientist with a twang. 100%. Go ahead. Thomas Hildern, talk to me.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22?
I presume you won't look me in the eye? No, this is the first I've heard about it.
No, they wouldn't have briefed you, would they? Probably better that our junior fellows stay within the bounds of their pay grade anyway. Vault 22. Where to begin?
The beginning. I'm listening.
Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water, and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible?
Yes.
A realist. We have that in common. A year ago, I'd have said the same. But what if I was to tell you that the wasteland can yield an endless bounty, and that the secret may lie a mere few miles from where we stand? We need only reach out and take it, and for that, I need you.
Really? Scientific discovery is never quite so simple.
Isn't it? One directs one's efforts, or the efforts of others, toward a goal, and progress is made. It's a matter of incentives, nothing more. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlock the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
Okay. Alright. Why
Good.
not?
No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand?
I think I understand.
Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Anything else I should know?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging.
Then why don't you do it?
Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
Oh yeah, why not?
Oh? What might those be?
I don't know. Tell me about the OSI.
The Office of Science and Industry. It's a rather expansive topic. I could talk for hours, but I'm sure I'd bore you. Suffice to say, we are the leading edge of the NCR. Our work focuses on practical matters: medicine, engineering, biology. The dam, for instance. OSI routes its energy supply to our cities in the West. That's only one responsibility of this office.
You said you were the director?
Director of the entire OSI? Me? If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to plant seditious ideas in my head. No, I direct our eastern operations. I've been responsible for squeezing unprecedented levels of power from the dam. I'm also confronting the problem of food production in what little spare time I have. But I've found some promising leads.
Okay. You're doing this by yourself?
Yes, with the assistance of my team, of course.
Is your team Angela outside? I think that was her name. So you have a food shortage going on?
Not yet, but our government understands the value of proactive thought. Our studies project an imbalance between production and consumption. Or, for a layman such as yourself, not enough food, too many mouths to feed. Mass starvation in a decade or so.
Yeah, I'm not liking your attitude here. What other responsibilities do you
We aid
have?
some programs the Republic has sponsored involving sharecropper farms in the area. But those haven't panned out too well from what I hear. There have been complaints about the amount of water we're supplying. But those are just excuses for lack of diligence, I'm sure.
Do you control the dam from here?
Directly? No. But we attempt to maximize its output. You have no idea how difficult it is to provide power to an entire nation. Fortunately, we also have the Helios 1 facility. One of our external contractors recently got the station up and running.
Yeah.
His name was something like exceptional or marvelous or...
No. It was me. I fixed Helios 1.
I see. Of course you did.
What do you think of our chances against the Legion?
To be frank, I have no idea. I leave the fighting to Colonel Shu, and I expect him to leave the science to me. Too many people have opinions on things they know nothing about. And the more ignorant they are, the more opinions they have.
Well, that's the one thing we agree on. Nice talking to you.
Yes. Goodbye.
Download complete. Begin recording.
What?
Navarro Outpost Scientist, I am glad that EDE has reached you. You will find several data banks of information on this machine.
Playback.
Please handle this information with the utmost care, as it represents the sum total of the results of my research on the Duraframe iBots. There are also several data banks with information on my research into Poseidon Energy, and some projects they were working on in the Mojave area.
Ooh.
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but... Did he give you a job?
Yeah, he asked me to get some data.
I shouldn't say anything. I know that. But you're not the first person Hildern sent out to the vault. There were a lot of mercs, one after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
No, he didn't.
But now he's hired you. Which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc. But I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Yeah, I'll look for her.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it.
Questions, if I can.
Of course. Anything.
Can you tell me anything about Keeley?
Keeley's brilliant. An absolute genius. She plays at being mean, but it's all a front. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll outlive them?
Is she a lesbian? Because I know a mean sniper that went down to Forlorn not too long ago. How old is she?
I couldn't get her to say, but she talked about the war. The Great War, when the bombs fell, like she'd been there. So I'm guessing pretty old. 200 years? Maybe more.
200 years? Do her and Kildren get along?
Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy, maybe. They're both Deathclaws in their way. Keeley hates Hildern. She says he's more politician than scientist, and gets in the way of true discovery. And Hildern hates Keeley because... well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. In front of important people, usually.
She sounds great. What do you think of Hildern?
The director? He's very well-spoken and knowledgeable.
He seems focused on results, not people.
He's not what you'd call warm, unless he wants something from you. And even then, it's kind of a cold warm. Most of the time I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work, though he tells people that he does.
Does he take credit for your work?
He sure does. Everyone knows it. I've just got to endure this job until the project is finished. But abandoning Keeley, he crossed a line. Taking credit for other people's work is one thing. Sending people to die in the waste is another. If Hildren tries to recruit any more mercs, I'm gonna warn them. What can he do to me? I'm the only one who can run this lab.
So what's your role?
Head researcher.
Oh yeah, you talked to me about that already. Hildren mentioned Followers of the Apocalypse. I don't remember that, but tell me about it.
My father used to say good things about them, but that was years ago. Back when they teach farmers and ranchers about crop rotation and the like. Nowadays, they've changed. They're doing what they can to discredit the NCR, give us a bad name with the locals. Dr. Hildren trained with them years ago. Not me, though. I'm an OSI girl.
I hear the food's pretty bad around here.
It's foul, to tell the truth. Most people try to get what they can from the outside, even if it's just a smuggled candy bar now and then. Contreras is a genius. He can find almost anything you'd want. Takes caps to get him motivated, though. He won't do a thing for free.
Well, that sounds about normal.
Right. Stay safe.
You too. What the heck? Let's talk real quick.
Yes? Something else you needed?
Not the first person you sent to Vault 22, huh?
I never said you were. You've been speaking to Williams, haven't you?
What difference does that make?
Not at all. Informed speculation on my part. Williams is very good at her job, so it remains secure, despite her best efforts. No, you aren't the first person I've sent to the vault. I'm sorry that I neglected to tell you,
No, you're
but I
not.
don't see how it makes any difference.
How many others have you sent?
I'd have to consult my records. 8? 10? Your point is what?
Doesn't trouble you sent 8 to 10 people to their deaths?
I have no evidence that they're dead. 1,000 things could have happened between here and the vault. They could have changed their minds and walked away. I wouldn't be much of a scientist if I leapt to conclusions without proof.
I prefer to know what I'm getting into.
You want certainty? You'll never find it, especially not in the pursuit of science. Take my advice. Forget about Williams. She's a talented researcher, but she doesn't understand people, and she can't see the big picture. Now, I know your time is valuable, so I won't waste any more of it. Feel free to show yourself out.
She doesn't understand people, huh? Do. If he isn't the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, so let's completely explore the ground floor before we go up. We got another quest with another vault too, which is cool. Because, you know, I was honestly, before we got here, I was thinking, we haven't really seen any vaults around here.
What is it?
Ronald Curtis, let's talk.
Nice to meet you. I'm Curtis.
Colonel Shu wanted me to look into recent intelligence links.
Smart man. I could use somebody who can operate under the radar around here. Whoever our mole is, he's been slippery. Whenever one of the MPs gets too close, he changes his habits. Our last lead went cold weeks ago.
Really? Where should I start?
You want my advice? Start by talking to people with a lot of eyes in the field. People like Lieutenant Boyd or Sergeant Contreras, maybe.
Okay.
Careful with Contreras, though. He's not above suspicion himself.
I heard he's
Keep me
quite
apprised
the
of any leads you
mercenary.
get. This guy's gotten a lot of my men killed. I'm just itching to return the favor.
Who should I know? I know. What do you do here?
Officially, I'm in charge of Bravo Company. But since General Oliver has Bravo and most of our forces here garrisoned, I'm free to do other things. So I work with Colonel Shu on logistics, patrols, supply lines, reinforcements, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Lately, it's been less about that, and more about figuring out how that information is getting leaked to raiders. It's a big base with a lot of unhappy soldiers. They get stir-crazy. Hard to separate the malcontents from the actual culprit.
All right. I'll do what I can.
Later.
So we've got a couple of named soldiers, Contreras and somebody else that I already forgot. This is just a bathroom, right? Yep. This as well? Yep. Okay. Inaccessible. Alrighty. Well, upstairs doesn't appear to be inaccessible, so that is where we're headed. Who are you?
Boyd's in there with the
Hornsby.
prisoner right now. Boyd's in there with the prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
All right. This is not where she's in. She's in here. Or here. Boyd.
What is it, soldier?
Who are you?
Not big on reading name tags, huh? That's okay. My name is long and difficult to pronounce. Ready for it? It's Boyd. Lieutenant Boyd to my friends. Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be.
Is that you, Laura Bailey? Do we have Laura Bailey and Liam O'Brien patrolling the wasteland?
Sorry, this is state business what I'm working on. You'd have to do a lot more NCR ass-kissing before they'd let you help me with this one.
Have you noticed anything suspicious?
Now, what kind of MP would I be if I didn't notice anything suspicious? I've had soldiers go AWOL, break-ins, thefts, you name it.
Who's missing?
Well, there's Anders. He's a ranger. That one's not suspicious so much as worrisome. He left on a dangerous assignment. Colonel Shu sent him out. Now I think he feels guilty not having any way to check up on him.
What else can you tell me about him?
I don't know him very well myself. I seem to remember that he was the man to call on if you needed someone to get in and get out quietly. Colonel Shu would really be the person to talk to.
Tell me about the break-ins.
Maybe break-in isn't the right word. We didn't find signs of forced entry, but I've had reports of someone sneaking into the control tower at night. It's probably just a meeting spot for a steamy military base love affair. Kids today. But it bothers me that they didn't break in. It means they have an access code. Most soldiers around the base don't have that.
Would you be willing to give me control tower access so I could check it out?
Sure, if you want to investigate. It's not like there's anything to steal up there, just a bunch of old communications equipment. If you can find out any more, I'd be interested to hear it.
Okay.
There's something about this I really don't like. And if I weren't tied up here, I'd be staking it out personally.
You said there's been some thefts.
Not the kind of things you like to see go missing. No witnesses yet. I've got my money on Sergeant Contreras, who's supposed to be in charge of distribution, the little weasel. But he's too slick to let anyone catch him doing it. We've searched his possessions a dozen times. Nothing.
I'll keep an eye out.
Good. The more guns you can recover, the more I'll be able to use to shoot Contreras for being inept.
All right. I think we're good.
Yep. See you around.
Now, you won't let me talk to this guy, right? Oh, there's glass in there? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not talking to him right now. Okay. What else is going on in this crazy cuckoo concourse? That must be an exit out somewhere. Contreras, are you around the supplies somewhere? This is just an empty room. There's nobody here. Uh-oh, what's going on here?
Soldier.
Who's that? Troopers? That's the wasteland. I don't want to go out there. You know how crazy dangerous is it out there? I want to go back out into the main area. I have soldiers to talk to. Is this Mojave too? Because you guys are posted up. Camp McCarran Concourse. Alright. What do we got here?
Hey.
Morales.
Did the Colonel send you? I was hoping he might have changed his mind.
You look upset. What's wrong?
I know. I've been crying. It's stupid. I'm supposed to be a soldier. My husband, he's a ranger, and he got murdered by a pack of fiends. Goddamn savages laid his body out to rot. Brass won't say it to me straight, but they mean to leave Esteban out there. I can see that plain.
Your husband is dead? What is it? Oh, no. It seems strange that they wouldn't do their best to retrieve a comrade.
Colonel says he can't spare the men to bring Esteban back home. And the fiends, they put all kinds of mines and traps around his body. Snipers, too.
No one else will help?
His best friend, Jackson, tried. Didn't even get permission from his CO, so it could have cost him a lot. But he never came back.
I'll recover it.
Mister, I'd about given up hope. But you've got to be careful. I don't want anybody else dying on my account. Esteban's body is laid out between some of the buildings, east of the RepCon headquarters. At least that's what his squad mates said. There's an NCR position just north of there. It's on the way. They should be able to tell you what the situation is.
Okay. We'll see what we can do there.
Nelson's back in our hands. I hope we can defend it this time.
Yeah, guess who put Nelson in your hands, homie? It was me. Can you do anything with this? No. Curious, just curious. Let's see a trooper over here. He's probably just a trooper. Yep. Trooper, trooper, just a trooper. This has got to be... No, Farber. Okay.
Listen, asshole, I know you're not really an NCR health inspector, so you can cut the restaurant critique routine.
I didn't say anything.
And I want my 50 caps back. Because I looked it up, and there ain't no disease called colorectal implosion syndrome. So I paid you to look the other way for nothing. Wait, you're not... Oh, wow, I'm sorry. You look just like... Never mind, sorry. So what can I serve you up?
Not anything that would cause colorectal implosion syndrome. Is there a health inspector bothering you?
That's nothing. You just look like the health inspector who stopped through for the yearly inspection a couple of weeks back. I was hoping I wouldn't have to wait another 11 months to see his crooked ass to get my caps back. Ah, well. Anything I can get you?
Got anything to eat?
Oh, yeah. You can order up anything you want. As long as it's corn or beans. Just kidding. Haven't you heard? With a few shipments from home and a little variety, the troops are getting restless for some quality grub. You can only do so much as a chef with just corn, beans, onions, and peppers.
Yeah, I can see the colorectal explosion happening. Can anything done to improve your supplies?
Well, we haven't had any quality meat in months. Everyone in the camp just eating beans for protein. It isn't pretty.
No.
Some of my kitchen machinery is broken down too, so we've been eating mostly raw vegetables.
Well, that's not bad.
And I'm desperate for spices or seasonings. Anything, just something for the general mood around here.
Where would you suggest I find meat?
It doesn't need to all come from the same source. There are a bunch of different vendors around who sell meat. Fitz, the Nashes, Crimson Caravan. We've never really tried to go out and organize deals with merchants to supply our food. Already having an overstock of food, we haven't needed to. But we really need some good old red meat on the menu soon. So I'm willing to divert some caps in their direction if they're open to supplying us.
What parts do you need for the processor?
Here's the list. We've been scrapping together quick fixes to keep it running for months. I think it finally crapped out and needs a full overhaul. It's the goofy machine behind the counter in the corner next to the stove. I'd be much obliged if you could take a look at it and get it fixed up.
I'll take a look.
I don't know. Try the various traders around the waste. Or the pawn shop in Westside might have some parts. Oh, I've heard of a place called House Tools you could check out. It's an old factory on the north side of Vegas.
Okay.
Just a word of warning, though. I hear no one who goes in there comes back out. Could be traps, crazy robots, or who knows what's in that place.
As long as it's not assassin Romans, then we're okay. What about spices?
The Crimson Caravan would probably be able to arrange a regular shipment, but I don't know of any spices known to improve mood. Hell, we have a whole research department. One guy's even set up in the main terminal building. They're the ones who ought to be looking into it.
All right. Something else we can talk about? We're good. All right. Trying to fix the food processor. Jury-rig the machine. Yes, repair it. Okay. What? I don't want to jury rig it. 2 pilot lights, 2 pressure cookers, 2 conductors, 2 fire hose nozzles, 2 fission batteries, 4 steam gauge assemblies, 2 sensor modules. Just a few things. We got quite a few things going on here, friends. We walked into a hellstorm of need. What's going on down this way? We still haven't even found everybody we're supposed to talk to yet. That's quite the shopping list they gave us, so we're going to have to start picking crap up. I wish that we could put that on a checklist out front, you know? So we could see exactly where it's going to. Where does this lead? Back to the wasteland, I'm assuming. A supply shack. This keeps getting better and better.
Hello.
Contreras, let's talk, my friend.
You look like someone in need of a reliable supplier.
Got anything for sale?
Take your pick.
Okay, rounds. You do have a lot of stuff, but... Oh, you got 2 missile launchers. That's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. You got combat armor. Reinforced combat armor. That's better than what I got. Trooper helmet. Aid. Miscellaneous. One. Okay. I'll take 1 cap for that. I don't know where they're going to come in handy, but they might. Alright, we're good.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
What supplies do you have in mind?
Implying I have some kind of secret under-the-table stash I only offer to certain clients? Because that could get a man in trouble.
Pretty resourceful. Perhaps we could work out a deal.
Now you're talking my language. I do have an expanded inventory for people I can trust. If you're willing to do a little legwork for me, I could give you access to my stash, and at a discount. Many of these items aren't available in the NCR, and you'll be hard-pressed to find them at a better price anywhere else.
What do you need done?
Well, I can't exactly go wandering off the base whenever I want, you know. They're already suspicious. I can hear the MPs now. Gee, Contreras, I didn't know you had so many friends in the gun runners. Speaking of which, guess your first stop.
Oh, that's fun.
You're just passing a little note to a man named Isaac for me. I want to know which girl he likes.
Okay.
Great, let me know what he says. They're almost a straight shot north from here, up past the sharecroppers.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye. Well, aren't you a fount of knowledge? That's back out to Camp McCraren. We'll probably pop out there. Just want to check up here first. That's also Camp McCraren. Okay. Alright. Man, we've got a lot of places to go and things to do. We are... This is a weird spot. Which part of Camp McCraren is this? I don't remember seeing this. Look at, they got jets. Okay, we got stuff going on around here. But it's mostly empty. Let's check out our quests here real quick. Investigate the late night break-ins. Find Keeley. And then we're back onto some old stuff, but we got a lot of just chatting people up kind of requests. It didn't really say when to investigate the break-ins. Just said late night, so we might just... McCarran Terminal Building. Is that the tower we need to get into? That might be it. That's the biggest thing I see around here, and there's a door leading right into it. If it tells me I have the key for it, then that's where we want to go. Yeah, look it, we got it. So we're going to go in here. We might have to come back here at night, but that's okay. This is the whole thing, huh? Alright. This is Camp McCraren. Okay. Let's just hang out until midnight. and then we'll pop in there and see what's up. Nothing, huh? Maybe this isn't the place, but that's okay. You guys really block the doors in a tight location here. Where is that on the map for us? It's right here. Is there more info I'm missing on this? Investigate the late night break-ins at the Camp McCarran control tower. No, that is it. That really and truly is it. It's also a very short climb. Neither one is working. Huh. I'm not exactly sure what you want me to do here. So let's move around. We'll come back to you at another time, I think. That's clearly the tower, but we're here late at night, about as late at night as you could be, and there's nothing going on there at the moment. So we're not going to worry our pretty little heads. We are going to peek around to see if there's anybody else out here that might have something to say before we start bebop skiddly bopping along outside the walls of this fine establishment. You look like just a trooper. You got your gun out, you're patrolling. Nope, Crenshaw.
Hey, can't you see I'm busy here? Nah, I'm just kidding. This has to be the most worthless patrol duty on the whole base. They never attack this gate. They just put me back here because they don't think I can handle anything else.
Well, maybe you can't.
Catch you later.
You didn't have a whole lot to say there. That's the supply shack. Alright. We'll go ahead back in there. What does this lead to? The concourse. Okay. Welp. We're not worried too much about that right now, though I think we're going to have to, like, do some things to get in her good graces so that we can move along towards interrogating that prisoner.
Wish I had a first recon guy looking after me.
Although we're going to have... Yeah. Hey, well, yeah. I was going to say, hey, I can handle things, but he does do a lot for me. Like, a lot. So let's go downstairs and go talk to Colonel Shu again, because he might have more to say now that we've talked to a couple of people. He was the one sending us out on these harebrained adventures. Hopefully he's not crashed out somewhere. Nope, still working.
Yes, what is it?
No.
Bye.
We are still working on the same amount of information. I got you. Okay, so many things we can do now. I'm gonna head to the back of this place just to see if there's anything, any extra doors. I'm gonna pop by every person I see in case they're more than just generic trooper number 3. But I don't think they are. Just tons of generic troopers. That's that. Oh, that's that reinforced wall we saw in the back there. Okay. All right. So I think we'll go do a little of the outside scouting for them for a while before I start trying to figure out what they want me to do in that tower, because ain't nobody there, baby doll. Okay. Well, all that said, I think we'll go ahead and call it for right now, and we will pick up here next time. We're going to head out into the wasteland, maybe hit a couple of vaults. That sounds like a lot of fun. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.